Welcome to Family Gamer News, where we look through the week in gaming news and bring you what's important to you as family gamers. We'll start with the big news stories this time. So Sega has announced a new Sonic game. So this is following on with its Nintendo exclusivity deal that brought us Mario and Sonic at the Sochi Olympics and then the previous Sonic game. We've now got Sonic Boom, is what it's going to be called, the new one. There's going to be a TV series and a game and a range of toys, so maybe some kind of Skylanders-esque thing, or maybe just figurines to collect. It's going to be on the Wii U and 3DS, and the two versions of the game are going to be slightly different. From the look of the footage that we've seen, the game seems to be more, I mean, the speed element is there, but there seems to be more of a focus on kind of exploration and stuff like that. And because there's going to be the TV series alongside it, there's going to be more of a focus on characterization. So we'll get to know what the characters are like. And speaking of TV series, Ubisoft announced just yesterday that they're partnering with Sony Pictures to bring us a Rabbids film. So a feature-length film about the Rabbids, who are already in several games and have a TV series of their own. Now, although the TV series is animated, it looks like the film might only be partially animated. Ubisoft said, or they quoted Sony's experience with, and I quote, hybrid live action and animated blockbusters, which might mean that the Rabbids film is more like a kind of mix of live action, which is, you know, people and actors, and animated parts. So maybe we'll see some human actors going about in our world, and then the animated rabbits kind of imposed on top to create this kind of combination film. We don't have any more information than that, but we'll keep you posted. Moving over to the world of smartphone games, Flappy Bird, obviously the recent craze, it's been downloaded kind of 50 million times or something, is now no longer actually available to download. The developer said on Twitter that he was taking it off. I think he gave 22 hours for people to download it before it would be gone. He said, "I cannot take this anymore," on Twitter, and gave no more explanation than that. So people have been theorizing what might be the reasons, but we do know that it's not for legal reasons, despite the fact that some of the pipes in the game look quite similar to those in Mario games. Nintendo has come out and said that they did not pursue legal action. They have not made any complaints about the game, so that's not the reason. Other developers have been cashing in on this, the popularity of Flappy Bird, by making their own kind of clones of the game. So you can go to the App Store right now and there are kind of dozens of Flappy Bird lookalikes, so if you really miss it, you can find something else to play. Over in the world of Pokemon, the Pokemon Bank app, which Nintendo announced last year during a Nintendo Direct, is now available in the UK. If you go on the eShop on your 3DS, you should see the app. It should be kind of the first featured thing that you see. It's a free download, but it is a subscription service. It's going to cost £4.49 a year. What it lets you do is store your Pokemon on the internet in kind of boxes. And you get loads and loads of space, so you can store lots of Pokemon from different games, and then you can use the Poke Transporter app to kind of move them between your games, which is really, really cool. Very modern technology, kind of brings that trading and kind of bringing your Pokemon from the older games, brings it into the future with the technology that we have now with the cloud and everything. What you can do until March the 14th, if you download the app, you get a free pass for 30 days free, so you can try it out for a month, see if you like it. If you never use it, don't continue to use it. If you do want to use it, it's only £4.49 a year, so not very expensive. If you do use it before the end of September this year, which is a long way off, but a good thing to remember, you get a free Celebi. So that's the legendary Pokemon from, I think, Pokemon Gold and Silver, maybe the one after that. Quite a popular one. Over in the world of Skylanders, we've got some price cuts on some of the figurines. Now, this might be because Swap Force is trying to catch up with Disney Infinity, which is doing better in the charts, but it might also be because the New York Toy Fair is coming up soon, and it's possible the new Skylanders game will be announced. So maybe they're just trying to clear stock before new figurines get announced and people get excited about those. Whatever the reason, cheap figurines are always good for collectors. On the Skylanders forums, someone has spotted pre-orders on Best Buy for springtime versions of some of the Skylanders, which come in egg-shaped packaging, so it's like an Easter-themed thing. Trigger Happy, Punk Shock, and Frino will be available in this egg-shaped packaging in these springtime versions. They're due to come out on April 6th, which is 2 weeks before Easter, so you've got plenty of time to get them in if you want to get a gift instead of a chocolate egg. More Skylanders news, there's a lot this week. A Facebook group called Skylander Extreme has spotted a red version of Junebug. They haven't said where they found it, they've just got a picture, but it's rumoured that this will be the exclusive Skylander that'll be available at the New York Toy Fair. So anyone going to the Toy Fair will be able to get their hands on this red June bug, and nobody else will. Now, Disney Infinity, we've just got a bit of news for that. Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey. In the United States, that's only been available to those who went to the D23 Expo last summer, but it came out last Sunday and you can now buy it on Amazon. It's been available in the UK since December, but for those who haven't got it, we're actually running a competition. So we've got one figurine to give away. If you want to win it, just comment on the video, follow us on Facebook and Twitter to make sure you know when the winner is announced, and it could be yours. Now, there isn't much Minecraft news this week. There's no new information on updates or anything like that, but the Minecraft Skin Studio app, which lets you make your own skins for your Minecraft characters on PC and Mac, has been updated so that it works with the new 64x64 pixel skin format. So if you've been using that new skin format, you can now get the Minecraft Skin Studio app for iOS or Android and make some skins. Now we'll go over to the charts. As said in the first video, we've split these up by PEGI rating. That's not ability, that's suitability. So PEGI 3, anyone can play it, doesn't necessarily mean it's easy. In PEGI 3, we've got FIFA 14 at the top. That's also the #1 in the charts overall. As I said last week, that is going to stay at the top until FIFA 15 comes out. Gran Turismo 6 again, and Madden NFL 25. Now, this wasn't in this group last week, but what's happened since then? The Super Bowl. So presumably people have been rushing out to buy their football games after the Super Bowl happened. Up in PEGI 7, got Lego Marvel Superheroes still, excellent game, you can see why it's there. Need for Speed Rivals, so another racing one, slightly more mature perhaps than Gran Turismo 6, maybe a bit more action in it. And then Disney Infinity, again beating Skylanders. So that group actually has shown no change since last week. In PEGI 12, again, this category really shows that no one is making games for this age rating. We've still got Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z, The Sims 3, which is years old, and Forza Horizon, another racing game, but an old one from October 2012. So that's over a year old, and it's still the 3rd best-selling PEGI 12 game. Up in PEGI 16, Call of Duty Ghosts, of course. Fable Anniversary, that was the new release that I mentioned in the video last week, and that's debuted at #3 in the charts overall. So it's doing pretty well. Batman Arkham Origins as well, still in the 16 category there. Up in PEGI 18, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, that was last week's #1 in the charts. It's now slipped a few places, but it's still top of the 18 rated category. Grand Theft Auto 5, of course, very popular, it's climbing its way back up. We'll probably see that there for a long time as well. And Battlefield 4. What about the games that are coming out next week? We've got quite a few this time. So last week we just had Fable Anniversary, but this Friday in the UK, Friday the 14th, which is Valentine's Day. In the PEGI 3 category, you've got Barbie Dreamhouse Party, which is coming out for the Wii U, Wii, 3DS and DS. It looks like a party game, so a collection of mini games. I think Barbie gets trapped in a house or something. She has to go through the different rooms solving mini games. It's a PEGI 3, so it shouldn't have any kind of violence or anything like that in it. Perfect for young children. PEGI 7, the Lego Movie video game. Now this should be a big hit. The movie is apparently incredible. I really want to go and see it, but it's supposed to be really amazing. It's kind of doing really well in the box office. That's coming out on basically every platform. So if you've got the next gen consoles, it's coming out on those. If you haven't, it's coming out on the current gen ones as well. And that's a typical kind of action adventure game, very Lego style. Should be good. They're all good. Also in PEGI 7, Inazuma 11-3 Team Ogre Attacks. Now these are kind of slightly niche titles that come out on the 3DS. They're football RPGs, but they're very popular with some people, so worth a try if you're into football or RPGs. PEGI 12, going up to slightly more mature games. You've got I don't know if I'm saying this right, but Tukiden, The Age of Demons, which is coming out on Vita. Now that's an action game that takes place in a fantasy medieval Japanese setting. So possibly very specific, but if you're into that kind of thing, it could be the perfect game for you. Then there's, again, not sure if I'm saying this right, Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, also on the Vita. And this is a murder mystery visual novel, so perhaps parents who aren't normally into games might be interested in this. The Vita is a good format for these kind of things because it's got the touchscreen and everything, nice graphics, you can see nice kind of graphic novel pages and then press a few buttons to make things happen. But it's more about the story. Lightning Returns, coming out on PS3 and 360, and that's an RPG. Obviously in the Final Fantasy series, it's Final Fantasy 13. So that's all that's coming out next week, and that's all the news that I have at the moment. Be sure to let us know in the comments if there's anything we've missed, and we might mention it next week. If you want to keep up with these news videos, you can subscribe, and they should be released every Tuesday. And remember that if you want to win that Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey figurine for Disney Infinity, all you have to do is comment on the video below, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll let you know if you've won. That's all from me for this week. I'll see you soon.